Welcome to the Asian Club channel. If you like the videos on the channel, please subscribe so you can easily access the new videos. Now let's get started with today's story, because it's really exciting. We start our movie with an urgent meeting at Gongsheng Company, led by President Jiang, the most talented woman in Suzhou, the most important region in the world of major corporations. We learn that the company is under a major attack from big companies and has suffered huge losses. However, no one on the board of directors has any solution to get out of the crisis, and they declare their surrender. But then, delivery worker Shen Qi arrives and asks for Zhang. When Zhang refuses to look at him because she is too busy, he interrupts her and starts explaining the reason for the company's losses. He also presents magical solutions to overcome the crisis. Some board members attack him, but he ignores their criticism and continues guiding them on the steps they should take to recover, emphasizing the importance of project number 7. One of the board members confirms Shen Qi's words, telling Zhang that if they succeed in project no. 7, they can save the company. After delivering Zhang's order, Shen Qi leaves. When Zhang asks who he is, he simply replies that he is just a delivery worker. Later, the board discusses what happened, and the company receives an investment offer from Yongzhou worth $700 million for project number 7. At this moment, Zhang becomes highly interested in the delivery worker and wants to know everything about him. Meanwhile, Shen Qi continues his deliveries, but suddenly, a large convoy of cars arrives at his location. A man steps out and hands him the black card, valued at $100 billion, begging him to return to Yongzhou Company. It is revealed that Shen Qi is actually the third heir of the Chen family. We also learn that he has been supporting the Su family for 5 years, his wife's family. However, after helping them succeed with his guidance, they denied his importance and started treating him poorly. Despite this, he decides to support them again by signing an investment contract with them. Additionally, he prepares a grand gift from the Shen family for the Su family's elder on his birthday. Shen Qi then heads to deliver his last order. After that, he plans to reveal his true identity as the legendary third heir of the Shen family. However, when he reaches the hotel for the delivery, he is surprised to find his wife opening the door, accompanied by a strange young man. It turns out that this man is Yongzhou, the deputy general manager of the Su company's Suzhou branch. He falsely claims to know the legendary third heir personally and to have learned management from him. When Shen Qi asks them what they are doing at the hotel, they claim they are discussing work. His wife then takes him aside, scolds him for embarrassing her, and asks him to attend her grandfather's birthday in a proper manner so he doesn't humiliate her in front of her family. Shen Qi promises that her family will be proud of him. At the birthday celebration, Shen Qi and his wife, Su Qingqiu, arrive. She presents her gift to her grandfather. However, the Su family members mock Shen Qi for not bringing a gift. He tells them his gift is on the way, but they continue to belittle him, accusing him of being a burden on the family and attributing all of the Su family's success to Su Qingqiu. Soon, Yongzhou arrives with a contract worth $1 billion and lies again, claiming he convinced the legendary heir to sign the deal with the Su company. Shen Qi then speaks up, stating that he never trained Yongzhou, doesn't know him, and never gave him a $1 billion contract. At that moment, the family ridicules Shen Qi and accuses him of pretending to be the legendary third heir, ordering him to be thrown out. But just then, the Shen family's gift arrives: a crystal statue, a box of natural pearls, a luxurious villa, an expensive Mercedes car, 50 kilograms of gold, and $140 million. Shen Qi then declares that his gift has arrived. However, the Su family refuses to believe him and credits Yongzhou for the gift, calling him a capable manager. His wife, Qingqiu, gets into a fight with him and demands a divorce. Meanwhile, President Jiang uncovers all the details about the delivery worker, Shen Qi, and that he is the husband of a daughter from the Su family. Yet, they treat him poorly. At that moment, Jiang orders them to prepare a contract granting 30% of the company and to bring a car, as she is going to visit the Su family. We return to the birthday celebration, where the argument continues. The Su family refuses to believe that he is the third heir of the Shen family. Shen Qi tells them that the Su family will remain in their place and eventually collapse because he was the one supporting them for the past 5 years. At this moment, the Gongsheng family arrives at the Su family's estate. Jiang enters and tells him that if the Su family doesn't want him because they don't understand his worth, she is offering him 30% of Gongsheng Company, worth billions of dollars. After a heated argument between the Su family and Mr. Shen, they challenge him, insisting that the Su family will remain strong and successful without him. Shen makes a phone call and orders his assistant, Chuming, to cancel the contract allocated to the Su family and to retrieve all the gifts given to them. Meanwhile, Jiang and her family declare their loyalty to Mr. Shen, promising to stand by him through thick and thin. At this point, Yang steps in and urges Grandpa Su to cut ties with Shen. The rest of the Su family agrees with him and insists that Grandpa Su sever all relations with Shen. Grandpa Su ultimately announces that Shen Qi is no longer connected to the Su family. Su's son then mocks Shen Qi, asking him if he was the reason behind the Su family's success and rise in social status, then why hasn't he himself become part of the elite society yet? Shen Qi responds, telling them that when Chuming, the head of Yongzhou Enterprises, arrives, he will tell them who he truly is. Grandpa Su orders security to remove Shen from the hall, not wanting President Chuming to see him. However, President Chuming suddenly arrives, belittles the Su family, then greets Shen Qi with great respect, shocking everyone. He announces that Shen Qi is actually Jing Shenjun, the third son of the Shen family and the legendary figure everyone talks about. He tells them that without him, the Su family would have collapsed long ago. Chuming then questions how Qingqiu, who has no education or experience, managed to elevate the Su family to a prestigious status, implying that they have exaggerated her role. He then tears up the billion-dollar contract they were given and declares that the partnership is over, and all gifts will be taken back. The Su family begs him not to do this, insisting that it was all a misunderstanding and that the Su family will be completely ruined. Su Qingqiu then tells Shen that if she had known he was Jing Shenjun, neither she nor the Su family would have humiliated him. But he reminds her that he already told them he was the one who helped them for 5 years, yet they didn't believe him. He tells them that everything is over now. The Su family desperately pleads for him to stay with them, but Shen announces that he is severing all ties with them. He takes back the gifts and leaves. Afterward, all the guests at the Su family's event mock them and start leaving the party as well. Grandpa Su then stands up and blames his daughter for the downfall of the Su family. At this moment, Yongzhou arrives and tries to manipulate them, claiming that the person they just saw was a fraud and not actually the third son of the Shen family. He insists that he had personally hired and seen him before, making it impossible for him to be who he claimed. He also accuses the supposed President Chuming of being a fraud as well, stating that Shen Qi was only acting out of jealousy because he saw him with Qingqiu that morning. When Grandpa Su asks Young about the torn contract, Young responds that in a few days, there will be a major meeting of the elite families in Suzhou, where the 4 largest company presidents will be present. Young then proposes to marry Su Qingqiu, which excites the Su family. Out of spite, Qingqiu agrees to marry him as revenge against Shen. Later, we see the chairman of Shen Enterprises offering Mr. Shen the 30% stake in Gongsheng Company from Jiang's offer. However, Shen refuses and asks him to return the contract. He also learns that Jiang is the daughter of Madame Lin, but Madame Lin passed away 3 years ago. He discovers that Jiang is not originally from another city, but she left her family and came alone to Suzhou, where she built her company from scratch, working tirelessly for 5 years until she reached the top. The director of the investment meeting for the 4 major companies arrives and invites Mr. Shen to attend the meeting, handing him an invitation to meet the 4 presidents personally before the event. Meanwhile, at Jiang's company, she learns that Shen rejected their offer. She shrugs it off, knowing that their offer means nothing compared to what he already has. She realizes she must devise a strategy to win over the Shen family. At that moment, Xiaoling, her fiancé, whom her family forced her into an arranged marriage with, enters. He confronts her about Shen, stating that the Su family had expelled him and that he was merely impersonating the third son of the Shen family. He also reveals that he knows she was with him at the birthday party, attempting to win him over. Xiaoling claims that the real Gong Shen was at a different location the previous day, attending a conference with the elite families. He boasts that his family has now risen in power, and even Jiang's entire family bows before him, so she must do the same. He pressures her to accept that she will be his fiancée. Then, he threatens her, warning that if she continues to rely on Shen Qi, he will have him assassinated by his men. After Xiaoling leaves, Jiang reflects on his words. She decides that she must meet Shen again, make him her life partner, and return to the Jiang family with him as a way to escape marrying Xiaoling. When her assistant tells her that Shen is just an ordinary man and not actually Jing Shen, Jiang replies that this is even better. It will make marrying him easier. She believes he is intelligent, wise, and a great strategist, making him a much better choice than Xiaoling, who would only use her as a pawn for his family. Meanwhile, the Su family meets with the lobby director of the four-company meeting, who assures them that everything has been arranged perfectly. Suddenly, Shen arrives at the lobby, confronting the Su family. They accuse him of impersonating the real Jing Shenjun, deceiving them, and stealing the Shen family's gifts. They threaten him, saying he should return the gifts or face death. Shen is surprised by their claims and realizes that Yang is the one who spread the lies about him. However, Shen warns them that they should start thinking of a way to save their family, because within 7 days, the Su family will be completely destroyed, and the luxury they have enjoyed for the past 5 years will come to an end. The Su family arrogantly tells him that the presidents of the 4 major companies will be meeting with Yang Zhou to form investment partnerships. But Shen confidently responds that it was the 4 presidents who invited him to the meeting to discuss major investment projects, and that none of it has anything to do with the Su family. The Su family mocks him, telling him that he can never compare himself to Yang Zhou, and that he must return the gifts he stole. Shen smirks and tells them that the gifts have already been sent back to the Su family estate. If they want them, they will have to go there and ask for them. Meanwhile, Mr. Chen, Yang's father, is busy preparing for the conference. He warns his assistant that there must be no mistakes that day, because the legendary figure of the Shen family will be present. Back in the lobby, the Su family is still arguing with Shen when the lobby director arrives, trying to understand what is happening. The Su family demands that the director kick Shen out of the venue. The director obliges and orders the security guards to remove him. Seizing the moment, Su's son humiliates Shen by demanding that he kneel before him to earn his forgiveness. But Shen challenges them and pulls out an invitation, proving that he was personally invited to the event by a representative of the 4 companies. The Su family dismisses his claim, refusing to believe him. Shen calmly tells them that the invitation bears the official seal of all 4 companies. However, the lobby director ignores his words and prepares to tear the invitation apart. Shen warns the lobby manager to verify the invitation before tearing it apart, cautioning that if he does, he won't be able to handle the consequences. However, the lobby manager ignores him for the 2nd time and rips up the invitation, ordering the guards to throw Shen out. Just then, Shen receives a call from Mr. Chen himself. He answers, informing him that he has arrived but is facing an issue with reception. He requests that Mr. Chen come within 3 minutes, or else today's invitation will be meaningless. After ending the call, Shen tells the others that he was speaking as Jing Shenjun, but the lobby manager accuses him of lying and again orders the guards to remove him. However, they are unable to overpower Shen, who swiftly defeats them. In response, the lobby manager summons all security personnel and orders them to arrest Shen. At that moment, Mr. Chen arrives, preventing the situation from escalating further. When the lobby manager explains that he ordered Shen's removal, he is met with a sharp slap across the face, knocking him to the ground. Dazed, he turns to his assistant for help, only for the assistant to receive a slap as well. Realizing their mistake, they both rush to greet and apologize to Mr. Shen, pleading for his forgiveness and punishment. Shortly after, the lobby manager is fired on the spot. In contrast, Shen is handed a prestigious black card, an invitation granting him permanent access. Following this, the Su family is expelled from the hotel, while Shen leaves with Mr. Chen to meet the 4 presidents. Meanwhile, Yang meets with the 4 presidents, requesting their support and investment in the Su and Chen families. The presidents assure him that they will consider the investments. Before Yang Zhou leaves, there's a knock at the door. Thinking it might be Jing Shen, they open it, only to find a hotel staff member bringing drinks. Yang is visibly disappointed that it wasn't Jing Shen. However, the four presidents inform him that Jing Shen will be attending tomorrow's meeting, giving him a chance to see him then. As Yang leaves the presidential suite, he receives a call informing him that the Su family has been expelled from the hotel. Meanwhile, Mr. Shen arrives at the meeting with the four presidents. After exchanging greetings, they discuss investments. He presents them with an opportunity to collaborate with Gongsheng Corporation, led by President Jiang. They enthusiastically welcome the idea. When asked about the Su family, Shen states that they do not deserve any assistance. He also learns that Yongzhou had met with them earlier, seeking support for the Su family. Shortly after, the presidents present Shen with an exquisite red invitation, one of a kind, and meant only for the most important figure at the meeting. It grants him a reserved seat of honor, equivalent to a presidential position. The invitation is specially crafted for him, bearing his name. Before leaving, he asks them to keep his presence at the hotel a secret. Meanwhile, outside, Yongzhou meets with the Su family, trying to understand why they were expelled. When he learns that Shen Qi was responsible, he reassures them. He informs them that he met with the four presidents, who have promised to support the Su family and even recommend them to the legendary executive. Furthermore, they will still have a place at the four companies' gala. Elsewhere, as Shen Qi drives back, his assistant informs him that Miss Jiang has sent him an invitation and urgently wants to meet. He agrees and goes to see her. Upon his arrival, they sit and talk. Jiang introduces the upcoming meeting as if Shen is an outsider with no prior knowledge of it. She then requests that he attend as a representative of Gongsheng Corporation, offering him a Ming invitation, one that grants him a front row seat. Poor Jiang has no idea that Shen already holds the most prestigious invitation of the event, but never mind that. Jiang then offers him a contract transferring 50% of her company's shares to him. Additionally, she proposes marriage, believing that if they wed, he can save her from being forced to marry Shaoling. We understand that she is willing to risk everything with him, even if he does something that destroys her company. Mr. Shen agrees to her offer, and they finalize their marriage arrangements. Now on the day of the meeting, Shen arrives at the venue but waits for Jiang. The Su family, led by Yongzhou, arrives and begins mocking him. They boast that they will be attending the meeting with the four presidents, signing a billion-dollar contract with Jing Shen, while Shen will be left watching from the sidelines. However, Shen responds, telling them that he is attending the meeting as a personal guest of the four presidents and that the Su family will not be allowed entry or have any significance at the event. At this point, Su's son provokes Shen, challenging him to destroy the Su family immediately instead of waiting for 7 days. He then flaunts the invitation that Yongzhou secured for the Su family. But when they attempt to enter the meeting, security denies them access, informing them that the Su family is banned from attending and that their invitation has been revoked. When they demand an explanation, security simply states that they have no further details. Shen, now seated with one leg crossed over the other, smirks and says, "Didn't I tell you that you wouldn't get in?" Then, he stands up and presents his Ming invitation, shocking them. They accuse him of using a trick or stealing the card, but Shen confidently tells them that the invitation came to him effortlessly. At that moment, Jiang arrives and declares that she was the one who invited Shen using the Ming invitation. She then reveals that they are now married and that all of Gongsheng Corporation belongs to Shen. When Yongzhou tries to belittle her, saying she has lowered her standards by marrying Shen, Jiang dismisses him, saying she has no interest in speaking with anyone from the Su family. She admits she has picked up some strange hobbies lately, but not to the extent of talking to idiots. She then declares that she is now Mrs. Shen and that anyone who dares oppose him will be her personal enemy, and she will show no mercy. With that, they leave for the meeting. The Su family, stunned, discusses the situation. Yongzhou is convinced that Shen was responsible for their invitation being revoked. Without attending the meeting, they won't be able to recover their contract. However, he remains hopeful, believing there is still another opportunity to meet the legendary figure, who might then support the Su Corporation. Inside the meeting hall, Shen and Jiang take their seats. The significance of this meeting for Jiang is revealed. It is crucial for her to establish herself as the leader of the Jiang family's corporations. They then encounter Shaoling, Jiang's former fiancé, who introduces himself to the other attendees. When Shen assures Jiang that he can secure support for Jiang Corporation, she trusts him completely. However, Shaoling starts to mock Shen Qi, refusing to let him sit with them. The others follow suit, asking him to sit elsewhere, claiming that the table is exclusively for VIPs with Ming invitations. Jiang steps in, informing them that Shen has a Ming invitation, which she personally gave him, and that the entire company now belongs to him. This enrages Shaoling, who turns the entire room against Shen. The attendees demand that he be thrown out of the hall altogether. Shen, unfazed, declares that he is the most important person at the event, and that even if everyone in the room united against him, they still wouldn't be able to defeat him. Then, he pulls out the black card, valued at $100 billion, shocking everyone present. Xiaoling, in disbelief, questions how Shen possesses the card, knowing that there is only one in existence, and it belongs to Jing Shenjun. Shen then reveals that he is Jing Shenjun, but instead of believing him, the entire hall erupts into laughter, mocking the idea that the man exiled by the Su family could possibly be Jing Shenjun. They accuse him of forging the black card and order security to arrest him. At that moment, Cheng arrives just in time to handle the situation. He questions how they could dare attack Mr. Shen, orders all the guards to leave, apologizes to Shen, and tells Xiaoling to be quiet and stop causing trouble because the meeting is about to start. Zhang asks Mr. Shen to sit at the table with them, but Shen tells her to wait, explaining that they won't be sitting there because he has a different seat today. He then points to the prestigious Watong chair. Everyone protests, insisting that the chair is reserved for a special guest and requires an exclusive invitation, which they are certain he does not possess. However, Shen confidently silences them by revealing the special invitation, leaving everyone in shock, including his own wife, Jiang. The attendees refuse to believe it, but Director Cheng affirms that the invitation was issued in Shen's name, and there is no reason for anyone to object. Still, Xiaoling refuses to back down and continues to argue against him. Meanwhile, the four company presidents arrive at the investment conference hall and ask what is going on. Xiaoling tells them that a fraud has snuck into the meeting and that they are trying to kick him out. The company presidents let him speak and hear him out until the end. After listening, one of the four presidents suddenly shouts at them. Then they all approach Mr. Shen, bow before him, and respectfully plead with him to step onto the stage and sit in the Watong chair. Xiaoling and his companions are left in complete shock. They try to argue that this must be a misunderstanding, and that Shen surely isn't the honored guest. Shen and Zhang proceed to take their seats in the Watong chair, and one of the four presidents warns that anyone who dares to disrespect Mr. Shen will be considered an enemy of all four major companies. Still, Xiaoling refuses to back down. He continues yelling and attacking Mr. Shen, even challenging the four company presidents, claiming that his company is bigger than all of theirs combined. He belittles Shen, declaring that he is no match for the greatest family in Daxia. At that moment, Shen calmly takes out his phone and calls Chuming, ordering him to erase Xiaoling's family name from Shanghai within 3 minutes. Everyone in the room bursts into laughter, mocking him. But then, the four company presidents reveal the truth. Mr. Shen is the third son of the Chen family. He is none other than the legendary director himself. Just then, Xiaoling receives a phone call informing him that the Chen family has canceled all contracts with his company and that his company is about to collapse. He is immediately thrown out of the hall. Xiaoling breaks down, screaming like a madman, but the guards drag him out of the venue. Next, it is the turn of Xiaoling's associates. Terrified, they throw themselves to the ground and beg for forgiveness. Shen decides to give them one last chance. Within 3 days, they must transfer all their family assets to Zhang's company, Gongsheng, in exchange for their lives. He then forgives the rest of the attendees, instructs the four presidents to prepare the contracts and agreements, and ends the meeting before leaving. Meanwhile, the Su family and Yongzhou sit in misery, lamenting their terrible failure. But Yongzhou tells them that they have received an invitation to dinner from Changshao, where many important figures will be present, including the third son of the Chen family. The Su family is invited and will be able to attend. Back with Shen and Zhang, Zhang is confused and doesn't understand what is happening. Shen tells her to wait until after the dinner with Changshao. Then he will explain everything in full detail. After that, Zhang leaves. But Mr. Shen is approached by someone who tells him that his manager wants to meet him. We then learn that his manager is Zhang's father. The manager tells Shen that he doesn't deserve Zhang's daughter and that Xiaoling is the one who truly deserves her. He also mentions that the Xiaoling family is one of the wealthiest families in Shanghai, unaware that Shen is the legendary director himself. We then move straight to the dinner party, where Yongzhou and the Su family arrive. They sit at their designated table and learn that the hall is divided according to the importance of the families, with seats near the stage reserved for Shanghai's greatest families. Suddenly, they see Shen and Zhang sitting in the reserved seats for the most prestigious families of Shanghai. The Su family and Yongzhou approach him, causing a scene, but Shen calmly tells them that everything Yongzhou said was a lie. Yongzhou then orders the guards to throw Shen out, but just then Mr. Chen, their savior, arrives. He orders the guards to stand down, telling them that he has an invitation to attend. Soon, the four company presidents arrive, and Yongzhou is unable to take any action. Shen tells them that this event was organized for him, and this particular area is reserved for him and Zhang. Then, Mr. Chen stands and introduces Shen as the third son of the Chen family and the legendary director. Shen stands up, and at this point, the Su family is shocked, realizing that Shen is the one they've been disrespecting. Qingyu, from the Su family, stands up and asks Shen if he has lost his mind, asking why he is standing up there. But the four company presidents step in and remove her, inviting Mr. Shen to the stage. Shen goes up to the stage, leaving Yongzhou and the Su family in complete shock. Yongzhou then blames Qingyu and the Su family for not believing that Shen was the third son of the Chen family and instead following Yong's lies. Qingyu tries to beg Shen for forgiveness, but he pushes her away. He then turns to the others who doubted him, asking Grandpa Su if he still believes Su's company will succeed without him. He asks Yongzhou if he still claims to know him, and finally he turns to Jiang, asking if she still remembers what she said to him yesterday, calling him beneath her level. Finally, he looks at Jiang and asks her to come with him. She agrees, and they leave, walking down the stairs as everyone at the party applauds them. And that's the end of today's story. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the new video. Always expect something fresh and exciting on the Asian Club channel.